I waited a couple of days to do this because I wanted to give the woke welfare collectors at the worldwide leader in woke plenty of time to respond. Now, I know Mina is busy right now pretending to break down Madden film for her fantasy league. I know Monica McDougal is busy trying to properly identify Barry Sanders. I thought his name was Shador Sanders. Yeah, and I thought you were a failed basketball player and not an NBA analyst. But for some reason, ESPN continues pretending that Monica McNutt is qualified to analyze a league that she has never played in. I wanted to give people at ESPN plenty of time to respond to the death of Charlie Kirk. But Casey, I thought you wanted ESPN to quit being so political. Yeah, I do. But this is not about politics. This is good and evil. Stephen A. Smith discussed Charlie Kirk on his new show on SiriusXM. Stephen A. condemned the assholes who call themselves woke for celebrating the death of an American patriot. Wednesday afternoon, Pat McAfee posted what I thought was a beautiful response on Twitter. Now, Pat McAfee is not a political dude. He's not someone that I take seriously. And I don't mean that in a bad way. That's not intended to be an insult to Pat McAfee. As you guys know, my favorite show is The Challenge on MTV. I don't take them seriously either. They're not meant to be taken seriously. They're entertainers. Pat McAfee is an entertainer. He hosts a silly show and he does a phenomenal job. But he took a moment the other day to honor Charlie Kirk. Pat McAfee didn't call out the wanker spankers, which is fine. That's fine. Uncle KC has no problem calling out lonely men who haven't been inside of a woman since birth. Pat McAfee, he issued a simple tweet honoring an American hero who is likely responsible for saving the youth of America. Charlie Kirk single-handedly fought the woke fungus at colleges and universities and converted millions of American kids. This is a huge loss, and you would think other stars at ESPN would have the decency to honor Charlie Kirk, an American hero. Unfortunately, it seems that everyone else at ESPN is suddenly choosing to exercise their right to remain silent. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the main channels in the description below. Remember 5 years ago when George Floyd passed away? Or as deacons at Woke United Methodist preferred to call him, our object of worship. When George Floyd died, ESPN was filled with tributes. Oh, I'm so sad. We lost an American hero. Defund the police. Call social worker Shanice. Entire segments on ESPN were dedicated to celebrating the life of George Floyd. Segments of SportsCenter have been dedicated to fighting for abortion rights. Elle, Duncan, Mina, Monica McDougal, Malika Andrews, Stanley Verrett, who fortunately is no longer working at ESPN. For the better part of 5 years, ESPN has been dedicated to spreading the woke fungus. They've been dedicated to politics. Yes, it's gotten better over the last couple of years, but I promise you, if Mina used her platform to promote feminism, ESPN wouldn't have a problem with it. So how come there hasn't been a single star at ESPN besides Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith? How come there hasn't been another ESPN star to speak out against what happened to Charlie Kirk? The silence is deafening. Are they suddenly unwilling to take a stand? Are they suddenly unwilling to use their platform to speak on the biggest story in the country? That doesn't sound like ESPN. That doesn't sound like the worldwide leader in woke. They were willing to talk about January 6th. They were willing to talk about George Floyd. They spent the entire summer of 2020 talking about the riots. Peaceful protest. So why is ESPN suddenly choosing to exercise their right to remain silent? This is pure speculation on my part, but I would be willing to bet management at ESPN told them, stay out of it. I would be willing to bet that management told them, if you're not going to say anything positive, don't say anything at all. And you damn sure better not say anything controversial. Mina is not stupid. Mo McDougal is no dummy. I'm sure they see all these people being fired from their jobs. I'm sure ESPN sees all the backlash. You gotta remember, this is a network that is allergic to controversy. This is a network that is allergic to negative publicity. Remember years ago, ESPN admitted that they monitor reactions on social media and act accordingly. I would not be surprised if ESPN told their woke stars to stand down, sit this one out. What do you think? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the main channel.